start in a comfortable seat. If you've been there a little while, feel free to stretch out your legs, roll your shoulders alternately a few times, turn the head left to right. Maybe do a little neck circle. And then start to make your way into your seat. We'll make sure that our strap or scarf is nearby. And then let all those other props go and start to find stillness. And we'll start today without forcing anything. So even sometimes it feels difficult to kind of force my eyes to close. So if your gaze just needs to be soft, that's fine. Letting your arms relax out of their shoulders. And your breath be natural. Feeling your seat. The sits bones heavy on the earth or your prop. A sense of consolidation from skin to muscle and muscle to bone. And today we'll be working with our breath in the areas around the lungs that we can work with through movement. So before we go there, start to notice what it feels like this morning to breathe. Is there a lot of effort to take an inhale or any effort to kind of force the exhale? Or does it feel easy? Noticing as well where your breath feels sensationally most prominent. So for me, I really feel the temperature at my throat. And I feel some movement in my chest. For you, that might be different. So just notice. And we'll take one deep breath here intentionally. So inhale to fill your belly, the ribs, and chest, pausing on full. Sip in one more amount of air and try and soften around the held in breath. Skin, shoulders, muscles soften, and through your mouth release. Bringing your palms to touch gently and bow your chin. Taking this moment for yourself, setting any intention for your practice. And if your mind draws a blank, perhaps your intention is just to be with your breath. To return to it when you notice that you've strayed. And one more big inhale here. Pausing on full, sip in a little more air. And push your palms together, but relax your shoulders down. Reach up through the crown of your head. Get long, long in the spine and through your mouth. We honor ourselves and each other with namaste. Namaste. And release your hands and bring them to your rib cage. Just start to massage around the ribs, left to right. So our hands have a really direct and strong connection with our brain. So wherever we place our own hands, especially on our body, our brain is hyper aware of. So we're gonna start massaging around the rib cage. Maybe bring your hand, one hand to your back. See if you can get the back of the ribs on one side. Keep massaging. And change, get the other side. Just however this feels doable. Doesn't have to look exactly like me. And continuing whatever way feels good. Maybe the backs of the hands kind of to the back. See if you can get the rib cage kind of like you're in the shower, scrubbing the middle of your back. Good. Take the last few moments to get every corner, maybe anything you've missed. And then grab your strap, your scarf, or your belts. We'll wrap that strap around the rib cage. So middle of the strap to the back ribs. And then bring the strap around the front and kind of cross it. So we're all ladies here, so just under breast tissue, so that we're really wrapping around the full rib cage. Good, holding that strap in both hands comfortably, shoulders are down, whatever feels natural, so that the strap fully hugs around the ribs. And we're just gonna use this to notice what our breath is doing in the ribs. So take a big inhale and try and push into every corner of your strap. Front to back, side to side, and exhale, draw the ribs away from your strap. You might have to cinch the strap a little bit to keep it there. And keep breathing like this. Inhaling to really expand ribs in 360 degrees. Exhaling to draw into the center of your body. This might feel just a little easier with our ujjayi breath, that little constriction in the back of the throat. So we're looking here for information. Is it easy to push into the strap on the inhale? Is there movement happening? Side to side, front to back. And it might feel very natural or it might feel challenging. Depends on the day, depends on the body. Take a few more rounds here. What we're looking to train is that the muscles and the tissue around the ribs needs to be buoyant. Our lungs expand in 360 degrees, and they need to be able to push all of that soft tissue away from them. And if there's any constriction in the soft tissue, we just don't breathe as deeply. On your next exhale, release your strap. And then bring it in front of you. You could fold it in half if you have a strap like mine, but we're looking for a hand placement a little wider than the shoulders. Good, starting low, little bend in your elbows, pull your hands apart, grabbing your strap, and big arm circles here. So to the left and up, and to the right and down. Just choosing a direction, but keep the integration of the shoulders. So pulling the hands apart gently. Start to coordinate breath with movement, perhaps inhaling up and exhaling down. And one more circle this direction. Next time your hands are forward and down, switch directions. Go at your pace and see if you can slow that pace down to 1 mile per hour, whatever that means to you. As you feel a little warmer, maybe the strap reaches further back behind your head, overhead. 2 more circles. When you're ready, set your strap aside, release that, and shake out your hands. Good, we'll do a little flow here. So switching the cross of your feet if you would like. Left hand reaches down to the side, side stretch. Right hand reaches up and over. Good, we're gonna flow through center through a forward fold. Right hand dives forward. Both hands reach over to the right and side stretch. Left arm reaches up and over. We'll keep doing that. Keep the sits bones grounded. Flowing arms through center to find side stretch, opposite side. And noticing where any stretching is felt, any sensation is felt. For me, just to give you an idea, I'm feeling this in my lower back. And then once I find the side stretch, a bit into my armpits. When you find your side stretch, you might really open your chest toward the ceiling, little twist. And continue this organic movement, finding some coordination with your breath. Take one more to each side, evening out. When you're ready, come back to center, shake your legs out in front of you. We've got one more thing in seated. So we'll do a dynamic breath with an arm movement. So our breath, we're gonna bring all the way into our belly. So place a hand just around your belly button, maybe a little lower. And from here, breathe into your hand, like you could push your hand out. And then on your exhale, powerfully draw this space in. This is like a breath of fire for those of you who are familiar, but we'll do it a little slower. So inhale into the navel and exhale from the navel. Use those muscles to push the breath out. So we're using the muscles at the very base of our belly to push the breath in and out. So pause that for a moment. Elbows at your sides, palms face up. Curl your fingers in like there's tension at the fingers and even at the elbows, like the biceps are working. We'll take an inhale here into that belly and exhale, squeeze the belly back, cross your wrists overhead. Inhale back down, exhale opposite wrist in front. Keep going. Inhale down, exhale to cross. Let it be powerful. Good, last 15 seconds. Keep the breath, but open the mouth and stick your tongue out, pant, kind of like a dog. Inhale deep, arms at your sides, inhale. Hold the breath, reach up through your crown, get tall. And exhale, relax your hands, take a moment. Totally common to feel a little bit dizzy, so take a few breaths. And let's meet in tabletop, take your time. If you're still feeling dizzy, pause in seated. Inviting cushioning under the knees if you would like. Once you're there, organic movement might feel good to find cat-cow or hip circles, maybe swaying hips side to side. Noticing what your body needs and following that craving. Good, if you've done any twisting or turning, evening out both sides. And in the next few moments, we'll meet in a neutral spine. Good, barrel rolls. So we've been doing this a lot in our classes. Different teachers have kind of been adopting this. But think about the front bottom two ribs and drawing a circle perpendicular to the earth with the rib cage. Kind of like moving through cat-cow, but also making this circle from side to side. And circling the ribs a couple more times this direction. And then switch directions. Continue to breathe, no particular pattern necessary, but breathe deep in and out. Good, pause at neutral and downward facing dog. First down dog of the day probably, so bending and straightening the knees, adding organic movement to help light up the legs, maybe lifting a leg, switching sides. A couple more breaths here to move, to explore. And then when you're ready, find plank pose. Shoulders over wrists, really press the earth away from you. Push your hands into the earth. Push your hands into the earth so the rib cage even starts to umbrella. Drop your shoulders down, one more breath. And then drop your knees and your chest and chin to the earth. If you have a blanket under your knees, you can slide it away. And keep your hands next to your ribs. Forehead down to start. We'll move through some cobras here. Pressing the tops of the feet down, pubic bone presses down. Glutes are alive. Inhale to lift your chest. Maybe hover your hands. Exhale to lower. Good, do about 5 total, your pace. Ujjayi breath. When you're ready, downward facing dog once again. And take a full breath in. Lift your heels as high as you can. Full exhale, lower your heels down. This time, inhale to lift your heels, bend your knees, press the earth away, but gaze forward. And then tiptoe as you exhale to the front of your mat. Little bend in your knees, find ragdoll if that feels good. Releasing the crown of your head, the back of your neck, swaying your torso side to side. And find stillness for a moment. Really feel like from your hips to the crown of your head, you're being stretched by gravity. One more breath in. Pause on full and through your mouth, squeeze your belly back as you roll up to standing. Beautiful. Once you're there, hug your elbows in, make fists, and just roll out your wrists, tracing a circle with the knuckles in space. And go the other direction. And then shake your hands out pretty vigorously. And grab your strap. Good, this time an even wider grasp. So much, much wider than the shoulders, but so that you can still slightly bend your elbows. Good, we'll know once we get rolling if we need to change the position of our hands. Feet are hip distance apart. shoulder flossing here. Inhale to reach your arms up, little bend in the elbows, pull the hands apart. And as you exhale, see if you can bring the strap behind you. If you can't, widen your hands even more. Good, strap can come all the way down towards your glutes. Inhale to come back up overhead. Exhale, forward and down. If that was really easy, narrow your hands a little closer together. Inhale to reach up, pull the hands apart. Exhale, reach back. Good, inhale to reach up. And exhale, forward and down. We'll do this a few more times. The option here will be as you exhale, chair pose. Sit back and down. Keep the movement with your strap. Inhale to push through your heels, reach up. Exhale, chair pose, strap forward and down, or wherever you are. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair pose, strap comes down. Inhale, reach up, push up. Exhale. Good. Continue at your pace. Maybe you sit just a little lower in your chair every time. And the last couple times, maybe your hands walk just an inch closer together. Maybe not if that doesn't feel good on the shoulders. And next time your strap comes overhead, take an inhale, reach up. Squeeze your inner thighs together like you're trying to crumple your mat between your feet. Exhale completely and side bend. Just choose a side, reach toward that side. Good, hips reach the opposite way and push your strap away from your shoulders. Big inhale. As you exhale, push into your heels, come back to center and take a breath. We'll find the opposite side whenever you're ready. Pull the hands apart, push your strap away from you and lean your hips the opposite direction. Beautiful. On your exhale, squeeze inner thighs to come back to center, release your strap, and shake out your hands. Top of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, flat back, fold forward. Inhale, half lift your way. Exhale, down dog. Good, optional vinyasa. Inhale for plank pose. Exhale to lower down your way with control, nice and slow. Inhale, press through your back bend. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths in and out. Inhale as you reach your right leg up and back. Bend that knee and stack right hip over left. Good, get long from your left hip to your left armpit and drop your right shoulder as low as your left. Push the earth away from you, take a breath. And on an exhale, high lunge, right foot steps forward. And keep your back knee high if that's available. If not, you can drop the back knee anytime. Slight bend in that back knee, even if it's lifted. And spread every toe on your front foot. We're going to find a little movement in the right arm. Left hand can kind of hug the rib cage. We want the ribs to face forward the whole time and isolate the movement in our right shoulder. And so palm faces forward. Inhale to sweep your arm up, all the way next to your right ear. Once it kind of feels stuck, you can't really go back any further, turn your palm out and back, and keep your circle going back and down. Good, reverse that. Palm faces back, reach back. Once you need to, start to turn your palm out, forward, and palm faces up to come back down in front of you. Good, inhale forward and up, palm up. When you need to, flip your palm out and back, complete your circle. Back of your hand might even touch your glutes. Good, palm is back. Start to flip the palm to complete your circle forward. One more time. Good, keeping the breath going, especially the exhale. Good, next time your hands are in front of you, take an inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hands frame your front leg and bring your knee down, back knee down. Good. Left hand stays where it is on the mat, underneath your shoulder. And we'll do some thread the needle twists. Right arm reach up. On an exhale, dive right fingers under left armpit. Good, we'll keep moving. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, diving that right arm under the left. Take a few more at your pace. Going to the full range of motion in both directions. Where does it feel like I can't reach any further? Allowing that movement to come from the rib cage even more than your arm. Good, next time, right arm is reaching up. Pause there. Press into both feet and bring your navel up and in, away from your front thigh. We're gonna slide up into a twist here, lifting your left hand, right arm reaches back, and then find your twist. Beautiful, squeeze the inner thighs, 3 breaths in and out. Dropping shoulders away from ears. Next, exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame your right foot. Step back for tabletop pose. Good, inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat. Couple more breaths. Good, I'm gonna turn around just so I'm gonna end up facing you. Come down so that your right hips come to the earth. And you prop yourself on your right elbow. So we're kind of laying on our side, but our right elbow is down and we're sitting on our right hip. So knees can bend and stack here. And we'll have a couple options. We're going to lift into a side plank with the elbow down. Left hand can come to the earth in front of you for a little kickstand and support. We might start there. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, press into your right elbow, press into your knees, and just lift your hips. Good, inhale to come back down. Exhale to press the earth away from you, lift hips. Good, for more of a challenge, left hand to your hip. No kickstand. Keep moving even more, straighten your legs, and lift your hips and your knees. Good, let's take a few more rounds. And next time your hips are to the earth, roll onto your belly and come down for cobra. Hands next to your ribs, reach out through the toes, and dancing cobra. Alternately shrug the shoulders to lift your chest up. And keep shrugging alternately as you dance your way down. A couple more times. Inhale to come up. Dancing shoulders up and back. Exhale to lower. Pause your movement and downward facing dog when you're ready. Good, 5 to 7 breaths here, optional vinyasa or rest. Maybe child's pose. Find what works for you and pause for the next few breaths. Good, from tabletop or down dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Good, reach back through the outer right hip so that you're long from right hip to right armpit. Lift your right shoulder as high as your left. One more breath. As you exhale, high lunge. Good, take your time, little bend in your back knee to come up. Beautiful, right hand wraps around your rib cage. We'll be moving the same arm as the front leg. So left arm for most of us, palm faces forward, reach up, straight elbow. Once you come next to your ear, you might kind of feel stuck. Turn the palm out and back, finish your circle. Rib cage faces forward. The tendency here is to want to kind of turn into the twist. See if you can keep the ribs facing forward and just move your arm. Good, reaching opposite direction of your circle when you come all the way back. I kind of didn't do that. When you're ready, both arms reach up. Big inhale. Exhale, hands frame your front foot. Try and move in slow motion. Back knee down and thread the needle twist. Left arm reaches up and dives under the right armpit. If you need more space, you can just walk your left foot out a little bit. Again, we're really turning and moving from the ribs. So the arm is moving, but really to guide the movement of the whole rib cage twisting in space. Take 2 more rounds. Good, come back to center, arm reaches up. If you've walked your left foot out, bring it back to a low lunge shape. Reach back through the left finger, strong core, press into your feet and come to a low lunge. Twist, arms reach out. Beautiful, drop your shoulders, reach out through your fingertips and get tall from your right knee to the crown of your head. Big inhale, exhale, gaze forward and down, cartwheel your hands, frame your front foot, tabletop pose, and either cat-cow or barrel rolls with your ribs around in a circle. If you've chosen the barrel rolls, change directions. And find stillness. Bring the knees together and sit in the left hip, left elbow down. Good, and your hand can be at a diagonal or wherever feels the most supportive in that left hand, left arm. Elbow is underneath the shoulder or even slightly ahead of the shoulder toward the front of your mat. Knees can stay bent. If you know you want that challenge, you can straighten the legs. Right hand is stable like a kickstand or on your hips. Whenever you're ready, take an inhale. Exhale to lift, push into the earth, lift the hips. Inhale to come back down. Good, if you felt wobbly, just create that kickstand little extra with your right fingertips down. Take one more. Good, then slide onto your belly and come all the way down, stacking hands under forehead or turning a cheek. Bend your knees and windshield wiper your heels side to side. Take a big breath in, feel your belly expand into your mat, and full exhale. Good, prone pose, reach your hands out in front of you, drop your feet down and reach through your toes. Good, so arms are forward, palms face each other, and start with your forehead down. Good, inhale to lift your right arm off the earth, left leg off the earth, really reach through right fingers. and reach through left toes. Good. Head might naturally lift, draw the chin in and reach through the back of your head. See if you can lift through the inside of your bicep and your inner thigh. One more breath. And release your limbs down, take a moment. Opposite side, left arm reaches and lifts. Right leg reaches back and lifts. Spread every finger, spread every toe, and lift through the inner bicep, inner thigh. Good, keep reaching through the opposite limbs, even the ones on the earth. One more breath. Release and lower. Good, option here. We're gonna lift both arms, both legs at once. Can be a little challenging. So if you'd like, you can continue what we just did, one set at a time, opposite limbs. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale to lift both arms, both legs. If you're choosing one at a time, right arm, left leg. Another few breaths here. If you're alternating, switch sides, drop your shoulders down, lift through the inner thigh, inner bicep. Good, even palms start to face the ceiling. One more breath, and then relax all the way down. Full breath in and out, and then down dog or child's pose. Optional vinyasa, inhale for plank pose. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to press through, and exhale to press back. From wherever you are, pause, 3 breaths. Good, we'll all meet in child's pose. If you're already there, you can pause. And we'll find a tricep stretch. So palms come to touch, straight arms out in front of you overhead, and bend your elbows, bring that pranam or the palms together to the back of your head, back of your neck. Good. For more, you could place a block underneath of your elbows, or just walk your elbows away from your body a little more. Good. See if you can breathe into the sides of your ribs. When you're ready, release that tricep stretch. We'll find a side stretch here. Hands release forward and walk all the way to the right. Pause when you feel sensation anywhere from left hip to left armpit. Push the earth away to ground your hips toward your heels and relax your head. See if you can breathe into the left rib cage, even more than the right. Walking hands through center and all the way to the left. Pause for sensation in the right side body and rest your head. Again, notice if breath could expand under a right armpit, spreading the soft tissue between every rib on the right side. Coming back to center. And take all the time you need to come back up. An optional final vinyasa here if you'd like, or we'll all meet in a seat. Take your time to get there. Sitting up whenever you arrive on your prop, whatever comfortable seat feels like to you today. And then we'll bring Gomukhasana. So let's start by extending left leg, letting the left leg be long. Bring it a little bit more toward the midline, crossing the midline, and stack your right knee on top of your left. Good, flex both feet. The option here is to also bend your bottom knee. The closer your heels are to your hips, whether it's just your right heel or both, the easier this will feel on the hips. If you want more of a stretch, you would walk the heels a little further away from the hips. But we don't want to overstretch. So feeling sensation level is like a 6, maybe a 7 out of 10. Right arm reaches out, bend your elbow, touch the back of your head. Left arm reaches out, point your thumb down, palm faces behind you. Bend your elbow, back of your hand to your lower back. Beautiful. I'll turn so you can see. Good. Push your hands into your body and pull your elbows back in space. Drop your shoulders out of your ears and bring breath into your rib cage and your chest. Keep gently drawing your head back into your hand and pushing your bottom hand into your lower back. And feel your rib cage widen left to right as you inhale and soften left to right as you exhale. Good, releasing bottom hand first, top hand out. Then you reach both arms back, stretch your chest open and forward. And then exhale to round your back, give yourself a hug. Really round the lower back as well. You'll feel that in the hips. Inhale to open, arms wide. Reach your chest like a cat-cow. Exhale, cross the arms. Maybe switch your cross. Take just one more. Really arching the lower back as much as the upper back. Good, come all the way back to center. Help your legs to unravel. And it can feel good to bring your feet wide, hands behind you, and rock knees side to side. We'll have about 5 to 7 breaths here. If you'd like, kind of Ashtanga style, to take a vinyasa in between, totally up to you. And when you're ready, we'll meet back in our seat. And find that Gomukhasana or cow face pose on the other side. Right leg extends first. Allow the toes to float to the left side. Whole leg kind of floats to the left. Stack your knees. Flex your feet. Good option to bend that bottom knee. Doesn't have to happen if that's a little intense on the right hip. Shoulders roll up and back. Nice and tall, flexed feet. Left hand to the back of your head. Back of your right hand to your lower back. As you sit up tall, push into your hands, press your hands into your body. Draw your elbows back just enough to feel sensation, not enough to strain. And then focus on the breath, widening the ribs. Take your time to release your hands out. Once again, we'll find that seated cat-cow, chest forward, arms back. Inhale. Exhale, round your back, especially the lower back. Give yourself a hug. Drop your chin. A couple more times at your pace. Take your time to unravel your pose. Perhaps windshield wiper knees, or take any other creative movement, vinyasa, or stillness. And we'll do one more thing on our sides before we come onto our back. So if you have a block and it is soft, we'll say, then you can place it on like the second setting next to you. If you don't have a block, or if your block is wood or cork, I recommend just placing a blanket on top of it. If you don't have a block at all, take your blanket and roll it up nice and fat. Very wide roll. It's kind of as big as you can get it. So I'm going to demonstrate with my block. If you've got your blanket, you want it kind of the same shape as the block, whatever that means. So laying on its side. Good. And we're going to place the prop, whichever one we're using, underneath our armpit. So go ahead and feel. You can choose a side, doesn't really matter. Take your opposite hand and feel underneath your armpit. Not really where your armpit is, but a full hand's distance down. You might even feel like the bottom of your shoulder blade behind you and then ribs. Good. That's where we're going to place our block. So blocker blanket, coming to place that prop, just that hands width distance down from the armpit. Good. And bring a little bit of weight of your body into your prop. For less intensity, walk your elbow that's underneath you a little bit closer. For more intensity, walk it further away. So that bottom arm can act like a kickstand. You might already be feeling lots of sensation. I know I am. You might need to rock back and forth to feel a little bit more. This is myofascial release for, really we're looking at lower lats, but mostly serratus anterior, particular muscle just around the side of the rib cage. If this muscle gets tight, which for a lot of us it does, given just daily posture and life, then it can slightly inhibit our breathing. And so keep breathing and push your breath into your prop. Just like we did before, imagine you could breathe into this side of your rib cage. It doesn't take a lot. You can come all the way back up when you're ready. And we'll switch sides. You might give that elbow kind of a big circle, both directions. For me, I notice right away I feel a difference left to right. I feel like my elbow can come up further than my other one. So when you're ready, full hands distance down from the armpit, almost like you could grab your armpit and then one hand's distance down. That's where we're going. Good. Bottom arm acts as like a kickstand. The kickstand can be a little further away from your body for more pressure on your prop. Good. Finding breath deep into this area, push your breath into your prop. And find movement rocking your chest back and forth. Good. If this feels really intense, you're not alone. And take your time. Don't have to even rock back and forth. You could just pause and breathe in a spot. And again, it does not take a lot to influence this area, so whenever you're ready, come back up. Good, give that elbow a big circle. You might just notice that that area feels different. Maybe it just feels for the first time ever. You're very aware of this area below your armpit. Take your time, we'll meet on our backs. Good, if your body is craving something pretty particular, something to round out your practice, feel free to do that. I'm gonna invite us to come into a restorative pose called Banana Asana. So if you have a different vision of what the end of your practice looks like, explore that. If you'd like to just come along for this ride, we're gonna walk our feet toward the left side of our mat. So feet are to the left. You might even cross your right ankle over your left ankle. Good, then shimmy your shoulders and your head toward the left. So we're making the shape kind of like a banana, maybe like a smile. And if it's comfortable, grab wrists overhead. If you have very open shoulders, or maybe what we just did with our prop under the armpit, could lead you to grab either elbow with comfort. That's great. If not, wrists is fine, or cactus arms. And bringing awareness into the length of the right side body. Awareness into the breath in the right rib cage. And let your head just release. It's just coming along for the ride. For me, my head just wants to turn a certain way, and I'm just going to let it. And if it feels good here, we'll find one last sighing breath. If you've crossed your right ankles over your left, unravel. Bring the torso back to center. I'm gonna find the other side, walking your feet to the right side. You might cross the left ankle on top of the right. Arms and head kind of migrate toward the right so that really just the hips are left in the center. And then maybe grab the opposite wrist or switch the cross of your forearms than what you did before. And again, relax your head and neck. Feel a softness in your skin. And draw awareness to the left side, all the way from the left ankle, up through your leg, where your left thigh becomes your hip, into waist, rib cage, and armpit, where the breath is deep. And a final sighing breath here. Coming back to center. And a great stretch. Both feet and arms reach in opposite directions. Knees roll to the chest for a moment. Rocking side to settle your lower back. And then find your Shavasana. We'll spend a few minutes resting, making yourself comfortable, laying on your back or even on your side if that makes more sense for comfort. And as we explore training our breath in the areas around our ribs and lungs, efforting this way, we also acknowledge at what point it's needed to rest, to let go of all that effort and just let the breath naturally be. In yoga, we are not asking you to always use pranayama, to always be in ujjayi. Those are training, and now is time for total rest. So knowing there's nothing left to do here, all that's left is integration naturally. Rest, and I'll call you back in a few moments. You're welcome to stay here, resting in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Or start to deepen your breath and wiggle fingers and toes. Taking as much time as you need to find your seat. Whenever you arrive, palms touch. A gesture of gratitude for yourself, for making the effort, honoring your own body and its needs. I thank you for being here and for being exactly who you are. Namaste.